Hey, this is Jeanie Shea, your Hoover Realtor, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts. I am very often asked, what is a timeline? You know, I'm interested in buying a house, but I don't know, when do we start looking? How does this whole process work? So I thought today I would take a few minutes and share with you some ideas around the home buying process. So the first thing you need to do is find a real estate agent that you feel comfortable with, that you think is advising you and that you connect with, and let that agent help you. And then try to decide, as a second step, what's important to you. Write down your list of must-haves in your new home, and then also do a list, kind of a wish list of what would be great and grand. And then share that with your realtor that you're working with, because that realtor can start sending you homes that meet your criteria. So get an idea of what you want, get an idea of neighborhoods or areas of town that are important to you, that work for you. Perhaps it's important that you be as close to your job as possible. Perhaps you have school children and you need to be in a certain school district. That's something that a good agent can help you with. In fact, on my website, sidebar, I have a Google map with all of the Hoover schools on it. You can click on the school that's important to you if you happen to be a person who has children in the Hoover schools, and it will come up with this list of all the homes that are currently for sale tied to that school. So that's a tip. You go to jeanieshea.com. So back to the real story. So a third thing you need to do is get pre-approved for a mortgage. So when you start looking for a house and you're going to be getting a mortgage, you need to shop that mortgage. That is the most important thing you are going to do. It's the biggest decision you're going to make. So ask friends and family, who did they get their mortgage from? Who have they had a good experience with? And then of course ask me. You know, as real estate agents, we work with mortgage companies and lenders all day long, and we know what kind of experiences our buyers and sellers have had. So always ask your agent, who is a good lender? Now, when you start the process of looking for a mortgage, make sure, if you talk to 2 or 3, that you do that within a confined period of about 30 days. Because what will happen, every time you talk to a mortgage person and they pull your credit, it dings your credit. Well, we all know what happens when your credit gets dinged, and if you're getting ready to buy a house, that's the last thing you want to do. However, if you do it within a confined 30-day period, then everybody kind of knows, the credit score people know that you must be shopping for a mortgage, and therefore it doesn't affect your credit score. So you found a realtor, you've talked about what's important to you in a new home and made your list. Thirdly, you've talked to a mortgage person, you've gotten pre-approved. Now you're ready to go looking for houses. So what I do with my clients is I set them up on a search. So I send you an email first off with every home in, say you're looking for homes in the Bumpus school district. You want in the Hoover Junior High Bumpus School. So I send you every home in your price point that you've been pre-approved for that meets your criteria. Perhaps you want a basement home, perhaps you want a home on a slab. Whatever's important to you, I send you all of those homes. And then every time a new home hits the market, you get an email from me that says, hey Johnny, here's another house. This one might be a good fit for you and your family. Then you and your spouse or whoever is in your world, you all are looking at that list and you are deciding which homes are your favorites. So you're gonna call me, we've been working together, you're gonna call me and we're gonna schedule a day to go out and look at homes. So every home on the market, I can show you. That is true of every realtor. We can show you all homes on the market. So don't call the listing agent. The listing agent represents the seller. Remember, as a buyer, you get to have your own agent, and the best thing is it doesn't cost you anything. So you're working with your buyer's agent, I'm your buyer's agent. So you let me know, we have these 5 homes we'd like to go see. Great, we set aside a time, maybe it's Saturday morning, we get those scheduled and we go look at all those homes. So let's say one of those homes is the home, it's perfect, it's everything you've looked for, it's in your price point, and you are ready to move. So then people wonder, so what is the timeline? How does this all work? So typically, from the time you write an offer on a house until the time you go to the closing table and pay your money, is typically 30 to 45 days. So that's what you need to plan around as you're thinking through this process. So you may want to take a month or two perhaps to look for homes. But if you're really decisive and you know what you want and you're very specific on the area of town you're in, it probably won't take you that long to find that perfect home. So you write your offer and then you go back and forth with the other party. There's always a negotiation process involved. It might take 24, 48 hours. It might happen quickly, or it might be a little more drawn out. The next step is you've already got your financing taken care of because we did that on the front end. So you have a financing contingency. And then you always have a home inspection contingency. It is critical when you buy a home to have a home inspection because Alabama is a buyer beware state. That means that you as the buyer, it is your responsibility to learn everything you can about the house you're interested in. That's where a good inspector comes in. That's why you hire a professional inspector. I give you a list of a handful of them that are certified by the state of Alabama. And that inspector goes in, inspects the house, takes several hours. They give you a detailed report about the house. Now what's cool is most of the information on that report is informational for you. You know, just things you need to know about the house, the age of this, the age of that. And then there will be items that need to be addressed. There will be some inspection items that you may want to go back to the seller and say, hey, we'd like for these things to be fixed prior to closing. We can talk about the details of that. But that is taking place during this 30 to 45 day window as we're working through the steps to get to the closing table when you get the keys and say, oh, happy day, we got our perfect house. So that kind of gives you a general timeline. Find a good realtor, call me, happy to help you. Come up with your wish list of what's important to you, get some idea of the area of town, get pre-approved for a mortgage, schedule time to go out looking for houses, write an offer, have your home inspection, go to the closing table, and voila, you're done. So I've gone through this very quickly. There's a lot of details in this process. I'm happy to walk you through it, but just to give you an idea, if you're thinking it's, you know, January, February, first part of the year, and you're thinking you want to be in a new home by April or May, kind of back it up. So it's not too soon in February to call me to talk about you know, what you're looking for. What are you thinking? And let's just have a conversation and go from there. So this is Jeanie Shea, your Hoover neighbor. I am happy to help you. I'm easy to reach at 205-249-0097.